Turkey is the latest stop on the World Rally Championship, so it's a traditional Eastern welcome to round 7 of the season. Holidaymakers are out in force enjoying the early summer sunshine, but it's no vacation for the competitors on this tricky event. Today sees 7 more stages winding through the Anatolian mountains in southern Turkey, with the host city the coastal town of Antalya. The organisers have put a huge effort into preparing the roads for this year's rally. Most have been repaired and widened, but unpredictable wet weather has left some challengingly muddy sections for the drivers. It's been another poor rally for Skoda. Suspension damage ended Yanni Cherhino's first leg. Number 1 driver Armin Schwartz was running outside the top 10 when he too suffered an impact that would force his retirement from the rally. Mitsubishi have also had their problems. Harry Rovanperä was caught out by one of the many rocks lining the roads on stage 8, and damaged suspension would end his first day. Chris Atkinson's had a frustrating season since he started with the Subaru team. It didn't go well in Turkey either. After misjudging a corner, the Aussie ripped a wheel off for the 3rd time this season. Damage to his fuel tank after three-wheeling in would end his first day, but he rejoins under Super Rally rules. Carlos Sainz has replaced the struggling Francois Duval as his old team Citroën, and the former world champions put in a thoroughly, typically professional performance, running 5th at the end of day 1. Gigi Galli's had a fantastic start to his 2nd attempt at the Rally of Turkey, once again displaying the improved pace of the Mitsubishi Lancer. The Italian lies 2nd.
Gigi, your time's just come through. You're fastest by 12 seconds. Good.
Once again, the man leading the way is French world champion Sébastien Loeb. He did have one dramatic moment on the evening super special, but that didn't prevent him winning all but one of the first day stages, and he's built up a commanding overnight lead. Despite that little glitch, Loeb's advantage is more than a minute, but the battle for the runner-up spot is very much alive, with just 21 seconds, covering Galli, Marcus Grönholm and Petter Solberg. On to the first stage of the morning then, and the pressure's on Gigi Galli to hold on to his well-earned 2nd spot.
The big question, can you hold Marcus Grönholm back behind you?
As I told you yesterday, I don't have the time to think this night, and I don't know.
He seems to be enjoying the challenge, but he just has a 3.6 seconds advantage on Grönholm. Well, that's not the start the Italian wanted. He stalled the car twice. But at the 3rd attempt, he does manage to get going.
No!
There's a problem with the turbo. Galli is seriously down on power.
Sinistra 6, 60.
Assistenza da Gigi nella speciale, all'inizio della speciale.
Calling service is saying at the beginning of the stage, I've got problems, I think it's the turbo. Well, that's a devastating start for Galli, but good news for championship hopefuls Solberg and Grönholm. He may be unable to challenge the current dominance of Sébastien Loeb, but Solberg needs to stay in touch if he's to have any chance of pushing for victory. The dry conditions today are good news for the Norwegian. He's brought very few wet weather tyres to Turkey. He had a frustrating day yesterday on the wrong tyres for practically the whole leg, but he's looking fired up this morning as he sets about closing the gap to Grönholm. The Finn too was unhappy with the performance of his Pirelli tyres yesterday. Grönholm's already been promoted to 2nd following Galli's problems. He had a 17-second advantage on Solberg coming into the stage, but he's already slower. 6.6 seconds down at the end of the stage. His advantage now just 10.8.
Stage is clear for Marcus.
Gigi Galli, meanwhile, continues his struggle through the stage in a low-compression, non-turbocharged car. It was an impressive effort by the Mitsubishi driver yesterday, but it's going to come to nothing. His team have come over the radio telling him to pull over and allow the rally leader to pass.
Okay, destra 3 meno.
Plus secours.
Obligingly, Galli pulls aside and Loeb gets by with no time lost. With his closest rival dropping back, the World Champions lead is looking even more secure. Galli closing on the end of the stage when he was forced to pull over for the Citroën driver. It's all vital time lost as he restarts. He's lost nearly 4 minutes. Second place is a distant memory. The Italian will be completely heartbroken.
Gigi, you've lost time.
Yes, I think something in the engine or turbo or something like that go break at the start of the stage.
The loss of boost pressure on Galli's Mitsubishi Lancer meant the Italian didn't stand a chance on stage 10. Compared to Gronholm and Solberg, Galli's practically at a standstill. The Subaru and Peugeot just disappear into the distance, and it's clear to see why Galli was losing a massive 11 seconds a kilometre. Heartbreaking times for the Italian. Gronholm now leads the chasing pack behind Loeb, but he has a very fired-up Solberg close behind. Galli's problems see him slump from 2nd to 9th. Teammate Rovanperä already down in 12th after his suspension failure yesterday. The Italian still has another stage to get through before the next service, so he stops to make his own repairs before the stage. The intercooler pipe has come loose, so there's no boost pressure, and the engine is just a low compression unit, proving even less powerful than a standard car would be. At just under 30 kilometres, stage 11 is the second longest of the rally. That's obviously bad news for the struggling Galli. That might be a quicker way of getting through it. This chicken does decide to cross the road. Could be choosing the wrong time right now. Temporary repairs don't appear to have worked. The pipe has clearly detached itself again, and the frustrated Mitsubishi driver is forced to cruise through the second stage in succession, losing another 3.5 minutes. With Galli in free-fall on the leaderboard, the battle for second is now between two former world champions. Solberg has at last got his tyre choice right this morning. He's on the KP, which is the perfectly suited tyre for these loose surfaces. The Norwegian's on his last set, though, and that could be a real problem if the weekend's changeable weather continues. The Subaru driver won his first stage of the weekend on the previous test and is pushing hard to make it 2 in a row while he has some tyres left.
Into 3 left bus half long, tightens keep in. Into early 3, right bus tightens.
With Loeb disappearing into the horizon, it is a battle now between Solberg and Gronholm. Neither looks entirely happy. Second place seems to be the best that these two proven winners can possibly hope for. With both of them failing to finish in Cyprus last time out, the runner-up spot would be a welcome return to form and some much-needed points. Gronholm begins stage 11 with a 10.8-second lead. The Finn will have seen Solberg's splits during the stage, but it looks as though he's been unable to match the Norwegian's pace.
Oikein tiukkaa ahdasta. Jatko-oikein miinuskirraa. Ja vasen pitkä eri. 7. Ja vasen nopea. 120.
Well, he's going to be slower again. There'll be another few seconds shaved off his advantage. But there's no problems for the Citroën driver out front. Loeb adds another stage win to his tally, extending his lead again on stage 11. Teammate Seitz now up to 4th, but a long way behind the battle for 2nd. It's time for service back at the Holly Resort of Khmer. Let's catch up with our leading group.
Marcus, any idea why Sebastian Loeb is so good?
You ask every day the same question. I don't know. First of all, he's a different driver than me, different car, different tires, so you can start to imagine what you want, but he is good.
You seem very frustrated at the moment. Really, your tires, your car, you're lacking confidence.
No, I think I'm driving as before, but it's difficult to go faster.
Got yourself in a battle with Petter Solberg now?
Yeah, we try to do our best, but Petter is pushing very hard.
So what did this team need to do to get it right then. What can you say to yourself, to the team after this rally, to go into the next few and really attack so you can fight?
I don't know. You have to ask your team. I am not the right person to.
You drive the car though.
Yeah, I drive the car. Yes, exactly. No comments.
Petter closing in nicely on Marcus Grönholm now.
Yeah, it was good. We took 10 seconds out of him, and now it's about time to take the next 7.
How's the rally been going from a confidence angle? Because really the tyres aren't quite perfect. Maybe the car, a few small problems for you. Is the confidence there?
Confidence there, no problem at all. But you can't achieve the best result. You know, it doesn't matter how much you're pushing if the tire choice is not right. It's impossible.
Day 2 of the Rally of Turkey continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Day 2 of the Rally of Turkey. 2 stages into the second leg. Some big names have had a rather anonymous event. This is Marco Martin. He looks no closer to adapting to the Peugeot 307 as the season nears its midpoint. The Estonians struggle to find the right setup for the car all year long, and it's the same story here in Turkey. He's currently down in 6th. He's got his sights set on Tony Gardemeister just ahead of him.
And 3 left here. 20, 3 minus right. 50.
Gardemeister, of course, is in Martin's old car, and how the Estonian must wish that he was still in it. Ford's #1 driver and Martin are the only drivers to have scored points in every round this season. They're both on course to continue that record here. Gardemeister 4 seconds slower than his Peugeot rival on this stage. The gap between the two now under 18 seconds.
Oikein täys miinus yli 8. Vasen täys lyhyt usko 120. Varo oikein eri lyhyt kirra. 100.
The battle for second, meanwhile, is continuing to build. Petter Solberg is a lot happier this morning, with the Pirelli tyres working much better in the dry conditions, but there are still some damp patches through here.
200. 6 right plus. To keep left over 100.
Solberg's commitment is clear to see on this fast section of road, as is the concentration on his face.
6 left minus opens 250. 6 right plus. 80. Line into unseen, short by right. 300. For the finish. Well done.
Solberg has cleared the stage, and he's the quickest through so far. Grönholm started 2 minutes behind him, and he too is right on the limit. Reaching speeds of up to 150 kilometers an hour through this fast section, the Finn is giving his all as he attempts to hold off Solberg. He had a 7.9 second advantage coming into this stage. Solberg has set a target of 14 minutes, 11.7 seconds. Grönholm looks unlikely to beat it.
360. Oikein nopea, älä. Toista oikein nopea, älä. Maali. Markus finish.
4.7 seconds slower again. The gap now down to 3.2 for second place. Our battle intensifying, but it's much calmer inside the Citroën Zara of Sebastian Loeb. The Frenchman is dominating for the 4th rally in a row, matches Solberg's time to the 10th of a second to maintain his healthy lead. He never seems to feel any pressure, but it must always be there. His pace rarely falters. 1 minute and 17 seconds the gap from Loeb to second place Grönholm, but Solberg is closing even closer to that runner-up spot. Second place isn't the only position in the top 8 up for grabs as stage 13 gets underway. Tony Gardemeister's 5th position is coming under serious threat from Peugeot's Marco Martin. The Finn has softened his dampers settings, expecting rain at some point this afternoon. The clouds have yet to open. The setup change may have been a costly error.
Oikein vasen 6. Huomio pyöree oikein nopea. Jatkuu vasen nopea.
Martin, conversely, has taken a safety-first approach for this stage. With the conditions so unpredictable, the Estonian has selected the KP Pirelli tyre, which can work reasonably well in all conditions. The Peugeot driver had closed to within 14 seconds of his rival coming onto this stage.
40, 4 left close. 40, 6 right narrow.
Well, he's definitely faster, but is it enough to claim fifth? Just by 1/10 of a second. And Petter Solberg follow Martin's example and take second from Marcus Grönholm. Solberg's had a much improved second day in Turkey after a frustrating opening leg. It's too late, surely, to push for the win after losing too much time to Loeb already. But second position is very much within his reach, and it's actually something he can fight for, rather than wait for mechanical attrition to hand to him. It's another competitive performance from the Norwegian. It's the quickest through so far by nearly 18 seconds.
Early 6 left plus, keep into crest, into early shot, 6 right minus, 60.
So can Grönholm match the pace? The Finns gambled on a Pirelli tyre with a different, stiffer construction, but it may not have been the right choice for these conditions. He's still using a bit of guesswork on tyre selection after using Michelin's for most of his career. He knows from his splits that he's struggling to match the pace of Solberg, but how much time he may have lost remains to be seen. He was only 3.2 seconds ahead before the stage, and he could be about to wave goodbye to second.
Ja vasen nopea. 120 ja oikea eri.
Well, second place is already gone now. How much is the damage? 7.7 seconds. Solberg second, Grönholm third. What about the man who was second overnight? Gigi Galli is now back in full working order. Spot the difference. After losing several minutes and dropping to 10th, he's on a mission to claw his way back at least into the points. Though he was lucky to get away with that big slide there. All change again after stage 13 then. Solberg and Grönholm swap in the battle for runner-up spot, and Martin replaces Gardemeister in fifth. 2 more stages remain before the evening super special. And that kind of horsepower won't be enough, even for Gigi Galli. Has Tony Gardemeister got enough in reserve to fight straight back against Marco Martin's Peugeot? The rain is holding off, so the Finn is still really unable to take advantage of his softer setup. He could lose even more time to Marco Martin. As has been the case in a lot of rounds this season, the Estonian steadily built on his pace as the weekends progressed. The Peugeot driver's been setting top full times all day, and he's looking good to extend his narrow advantage over Gardemeister here. Just 1/10 of a second, remember, separated them going onto this stage in Martin's favour.
35 left.
In these slick, muddy conditions, a second or two can be lost in a heartbeat. He goes through quicker, 2.9, but it's still too close for comfort. Petter Solberg's now the one doing the defending in the battle for second spot. The Norwegian's already won 3 stages today. It's been an impressive fight back after his problems on day 1, seemingly choosing exactly the wrong tyre every chance he had for the conditions.
Into 6 left minus to the crest, opens 16, narrow, 3 right plus tightens.
One thing about world champions is they never know when to give up. Petter Solberg may be on a chance, but Marcus Grönholm certainly won't be conceding defeat in this battle anytime soon. His tyre gamble for this afternoon has hampered his progress. And the Finn is a frustrated man. It shows in his driving. He's at absolute maximum attack, but it's looking unlikely that he'll be able to make up the 4.5 second deficit to Solberg here.
5 ja tosi liukas jarrutus vasemmalle 4 ja oikein hidas takavino liukasta.
He gets to the greasy hairpin. He's definitely going to be slower again.
Nyt varmaan jäätiin sikan.
Again, another 2.9 seconds out to 4.5.
Laskenut raikkaan. Mikä meidän aika? Tai ei tiedä, mä nyt 10.1.
Okay, this was really terrible. Hey, I tried to stay on the road and
What was terrible? The tyre choice, the stage, the drive?
The stage, because it was so muddy, and the wrong tires as well.
If Gronholm is frustrated, then Galli is practically fuming inside the Mitsubishi Lancer. His anger's inspired him, though. He claims his second stage win of the weekend, but he's still outside the points. Scant reward for his day one efforts. So no change in the top 8 after that one. Gronholm will be hoping that he can prevent Solberg pulling away any further, though. The rest of the day 2 action in Turkey is coming up after the break. Stay with us. Just one stage and a super special remain on the second leg of the Rally of Turkey, and it's starting to rain again. Yannick Chihino is Skoda's sole remaining representative. He's rejoined today under Super Rally rules after problems on day 1, but he's struggling for pace and he's down in 13th. Gigi Galli remains frustrated to have missed out on a possible career-best 2nd place, but the Italian can take some consolation by moving into 8th on this one. Ford have both of their point-scoring drivers running in the top 8. Czech driver Roman Kresta is 7th. And he's only 15 seconds behind his teammate Tony Gardemeister. The Finn's been unable to respond since losing 5th, and a puncture on stage 15 costs him nearly 3 minutes. He remains 6th, but his battle with Mark Martin is well and truly over. The impact was so severe that the tyre has exploded and the rubber is flailing everywhere, causing more damage to the Ford Focus and its wheel arch. Marco Martin's a long way behind 4th, but he is at least on course to continue his 100% scoring record this season.
.3 minus right here.
After the disappointments of François Duval's crash fest, Carlos Sainz is having exactly what Citroën wanted from him, a steady day. He catches and passes the ailing Gardemeister on stage 15. He doesn't lose too much time doing so. He's doing exactly what the team had hoped, on course to bring home 5 championship points. Marcus Gronholm fights back on stage 15 in his efforts to reclaim 2nd from Petter Solberg. He's 2nd quickest on this stage, 2 seconds faster than the Norwegian. The gap between them is still tiny, but is the Subaru driver who'll hold the advantage overnight. Solberg still has 7 seconds in hand, for this fight for the runner-up spot is very finely poised heading into the final day at its 2 deciding stages.
6 right bus opens, 30, keep right to the crest into tight hairpin left, double tightens early, opens 60. 1 right bus.
Exciting battle between former world champions though it is. It's not, unfortunately, for the lead of the event, because world champion Sebastian Loeb seems to be in an entirely different class of rallying. He continues his majestic progress with his 10th fastest time on stage 15. Barring disaster, he's on course for his 4th win in a row. Little change either after the final super special. Gronholm 7.8 seconds to make up for 2nd. Gigi Galli has his work cut out.
Marcus, thoughts on today? It's not been too bad.
No, it's okay. We're fighting with Petter for the 2nd place, but he's a little bit in front now. I don't know if I can catch him tomorrow. Maybe it's difficult, but I will keep trying.
Well, Petter, it looks like this fight with Marcus Gronholm is going all the way tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an interesting day.
Sebastian, tomorrow you're staring victory in the face.
We'll try. For the moment, it's going perfectly, and tomorrow 2 stages to go. We have a good lead, so I hope we can finish like this. We'll see.
What about today? How's it been?
Good. No big problem. We just try to save our position. Try to drive in the same time than Petter and Marcus. So it was okay.
No!
The Rally of Turkey's proved to be a lot faster and smoother than previous years, and the competition has improved as a result. 2 enthralling battles have raged all day. 1 is still to be decided. Sebastian Loeb is on course to continue his perfect run in the last 4 events. Join us tomorrow for the final results. Keep up to date on WRC.com.